الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له واشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فقال سبحانه وتعالى بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. تقربوا يا أحباب. Come closer, brothers. Don't leave gaps. وقال سبحانه وتعالى للنبي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ما أرسلناك إلا رحمة للعالمين. وقال سبحانه وتعالى هو الذي خلق لكم ما في الأرض جميعا. وبعد ذلك نذكر اليوم إن آية المباركة بقول سبحانه وتعالى ما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون. I want to begin today by thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and reminding ourselves of having the taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But I want to have my brothers and sisters in Islam tadabburan, in a way of contemplation, think about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us in the Quran and some of the significance of the creation. Tayyib. Today, many people don't know the purpose of creation. Recently we had a debate at Balboa Park. You can see the video on the OMF channel. We were debating with some atheists, and they couldn't tell you why of anything or how of anything. They had ideas and things, but if you asked them how and why, they didn't have answers. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He blessed us with those answers in the Quran. When we look at the earth, some people today, they say we can't eat animals. Animals have the same rights as humans, so don't eat animals. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the animals to be eaten. And if you and me weren't meant to eat meat, I mean, take it to a very simple understanding. We don't have to get into philosophy and theology and religion. Very simple. If we weren't meant to eat meat, we wouldn't have canines. These teeth right here you got, they're canines. They're meant for you to eat meat. Yes, you shouldn't exaggerate. You shouldn't only eat meat. You should always have a balanced diet, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also gave you other teeth to chew vegetables and things as well. But the design of the human shows we were meant to eat meat. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, هو الذي خلق لكم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that created for you ما في الأرض جميعا. Whatever is in the earth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made for us. Subhanallah, think about the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon us. Insan, he is not stronger than any other creature. Meaning there are creation that we see. I'm not even getting into malaika or jinn. I'm talking about elephants and tigers and horses that are stronger than us, that are more capable of hunting than us. Have you ever seen a lion or a cheetah hunt? Okay. They are sometimes superior to us in physical abilities. A horse or a camel or a donkey can carry weights that no human can carry. Right? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created them for us and made us the Sayyid, the leaders of this ard, of this earth. So we as insan have been blessed. We use farming and plants to grow food for ourselves. We use this earth, sometimes abuse it, which is not good. We have animals that we slaughter and eat for nutrition. We take eggs and milk and use it for nutrition. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala set this for us. And we should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had made us like a chicken or an ant or something? Imagine. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed us with this. But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the purpose of our creation. What is the purpose of all of the other creation on earth, as far as plants and animals and mountains? It is for us to use. But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, مَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. We did not create the jinn or ins, the jinn or the human, illa, except for the ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is our number one purpose and goal, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now, what do you need for ibadah? You need to have food, and you need to have nutrition in your body, you need to have rest. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the night for us to rest. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us housing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us shade, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us rain, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us crops, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us oxygen. I can't count. None of us can count the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Zahiran, yani those that are apparent to us. Batinan, there's others, unseen bounties of Allah. Allah protects us from things around us that we don't even see. There are malaika protecting insan. There's a hadith on this. I'm not going to go deep into that, but understand so many bounties of Allah. Which one of you didn't eat today or yesterday? Which one of you are starving? Which one of you is worried about not having a home when you go back, a place to sleep? Alhamdulillah, all of us, inshallah, all of us. Allah has blessed us with these bounties, with clean water, so many things that other people don't even have. We here have. But then, are we fulfilling our purpose? Tayyib. Now, what is ibadah? When I'm saying this, a shaitan, as shaitan does, shaitan, he doesn't leave you in Jummah. He doesn't leave you in Hajj. He doesn't leave you when you sleep. Hassan al-Basri, rahmatullahi alayhi, was asked once, does shaitan sleep? Does Iblis and the shayateen that work with Iblis, do they sleep? Hassan al-Basri said, if they slept, we would get a chance to relax too. They don't sleep. 24 hours they're at it. You're sleeping, they're coming in your dreams. You're in salah, they're whispering. The only time shaitan runs, the adhan. Right? So, here, Iblis will be telling you, and a shayateen, what? They will tell you, oh, is this guy standing on a member not know that I gotta work, I gotta make a living, what are you supposed to do? Just sit and pray all day? But this is because you don't understand what the word ibadah means. Ubudiyah is a servitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We were created for the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but not just salah. It's not just dhikr, not just reading Quran, not just fasting, not just making i'tikaf, not just zakat and hajj. These are all ibadat, but they are not the ibadah in and of itself. They are a juz, a part of a greater servitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we make our purpose the akhirah, when we make our goal the akhirah, then even when you go and earn a halal rizq, this is an ibadah. When you do tijara in the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with honesty, with being soft with people, with being lenient with people, in accordance to the ahkam of the sharia, then that tijara becomes an ibadah. When you feed your children, your little babies, you feed them, the mothers, this is an ibadah, when you do it with the right niyyah. And this is where إِنَّمَا الْعَمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ comes in. You could go to the same job, sell the same things, and not get the reward of ibadah, or get the reward. You could sleep the same sleep in the same bed, and not get the reward of ibadah, or get the reward of ibadah. When you go to sleep and you make your niyyah that this sleep is for me to be rested so I can wake up for Qiyamul Layl, so I can wake up in the morning and pray Fajr Salah, so I can wake up and go earn rizq so I don't have to beg or ask anybody except Allah, that sleep will be an ibadah for you. When you go out and you see somebody broken down on the side of a street, and you see that they need help, and you go out to help them just so they could say, what a nice guy you are. What a great person you are, maybe you're trying to show off to somebody, then there is no reward for that. Then you will get what you asked for in dunya, but the akhirah there'll be nothing for you. But the same action of going out and helping somebody, but your niyyah is not so people could praise you. Your niyyah is not so they could do you a favor back. Your niyyah is only the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because this is the makhluk of Allah in need. And when you help the makhluk, you hope the khaliq will help you. When you make that niyyah, the same action, except that you will get the reward in dunya and akhirah for it. And here, we realize the higher purpose behind the creation of insan. Animals all do their job. No animal doesn't do their job. And you see animals, they raise their young, they go out, they hunt or scavenge or eat grass or whatever, and they fulfill those needs. They go to qada al-haja, and they go to the bathroom, they have children, all of those things they do it. Because that's their job. Animals don't develop theologies, they don't ponder over religion, they don't ponder over the akhirah, they don't do these things because that's not what they're created for. But the insan has a higher purpose. And when insan does not fulfill that purpose, when insan forgets about the purpose of their life, when insan becomes ghafil of Allah, heedless of Allah, heedless of the Quran, the ahkam of the Quran, heedless of that akhirah that's coming, heedless of his ibadah, when he sleeps through salahs, when he leaves the Quran, when he leaves the ahkam of sharia, when he makes the purpose of his life fulfillment of his desires, then that insan becomes like animals, except worse. Worse. Worse than a dog. Worse than a pig. That insan that forgot Allah is worse than a pig. Pig is not a bad animal. It may not be there to eat, but it's an obedient slave of Allah. A dog is not a bad animal. We Muslims, we don't hate dogs. We love cats. We love all the creation of Allah. The dog does his purpose. But the insan that forgets his purpose, he's worse than animals. And the insan that fulfills his maqsad, his purpose, his maram, his goals, that works towards them, he's better than malaika. He's better than the angels. Ashraf al-makhluqat, the best of the creation. The anbiya and the salihin and those who follow their footsteps in righteousness. So here, I want to get to the subject now. Subject that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in a way to tell us. Ma arsalnaka, I did not send you illa rahmatan lil alameen, except as a mercy for all of alameen. Tayyib, there is a lot of depth to this ayah, and there is much that can be said about the meaning of this ayah and what we can derive from this ayah. But I will mention just one aspect of it. What is that great rahmah? It is to show us how to get to our goal. One of the aspects of it. Meaning, we realize, after what we've discussed already, that insan was created for ibadah. But how will that ibadah be? And everybody today makes their own idea. Today, somebody has a good niyyah, but they do the wrong things. We looked in the durus that we're having about the Khilaf of Ali radiallahu anhu, and it will be very important that's tomorrow inshallah, about how he became a shaheed. And we see the Khawarij. In an aspect of ibadah, they excel the Sahaba. Meaning in salah, in Quran, in dhikr, they excelled. Rasulullah told the Sahaba that when you see their salah, you will feel ashamed of your salah. Who was he talking to? The Sahaba. Yani the Khawarij made so much salah that they excelled the Sahaba. They would make more dhikr, they would read more Quran, but where was their shortcoming? What made it that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that they will leave Islam like the arrow leaves the bow? Ittiba' Quran was Sunnah. They left the obedience to the Quran and Sunnah. And we see the same thing today. Today, we as Muslims know what happened yesterday with Halloween is a satanic practice. If you don't know it, look it up. We have a video on it, you can watch it or look it up in its history, Google it. It's a pagan, satanic holiday. We know that not only is it haram on Muslims, but even Christians and Jews in their own writings have said this is forbidden in their religions. Right? But what do Muslims do today? They want to sell out. But they don't want to say they're selling out. So what are they going to do? Halalloween. Halalloween. There is no Halalloween. There is only Haramoween. Now they want to celebrate Halloween, but they don't want to say it. So now we're going to have trick-or-treating in the masjid. This is the same thing Christians did with their religion. This is the same footsteps you're following to end up with Christmas and Easter and all these pagan festivals. Look, we can't do this. We have the Quran, we have the Sunnah, we have those days of Iyad, of celebration that Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam have shown us. That's it. That's our religion. We cannot take pagan festivals and try to merge them into Islam. What will our kids do? I don't know, homework, go to the masjid, make salah, eat food like you do on every other day? Why do you have to do something in comparison to kuffar? If kuffar tomorrow start getting drunk and being zina in the streets, you're going to be like, well, what do our kids do? No, you have to draw a line. And what is that line? Sunnatun Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he set that example. That's why he was such a rahmah for us. When me and you disagree, okay, how do you make salah? Maybe somebody will say you make salah, you go like this and you go like this. Somebody says like this, somebody says like this, somebody says, okay, no problem. We go to the rahmah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we go to the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We go to those ahadith and see how did Rasulullah raise his hands? How did he fold his hands? Otherwise every imam, every alim, everybody will make their own religion. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that you are the rahmatul lil alameen, that you are that judge, you are that mercy to show people the most important thing, the path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you want to understand the Quran, you go back to the Sunnah, you go back to the ahadith, you go back to the one the Quran was revealed to. You don't just say, to me this ayah means, Fulan said this ayah means. No, you have this rahmah. And those who don't take benefit from this rahmah, they are failing. I feel pity for them. They're trying to figure out something they can't. They're trying to put together a puzzle without pieces. And the one who's intelligent, he realizes that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent this rahmah to us, so it can become easy for us to recognize our Rabb. You want to know about the sifat of Allah? Read the ahadith, how the Prophet explained them. Read the Quran and the hikmah. What is the hikmah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran? Is the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That obedience to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes to the sunnah. So now we have a path clear for us to know that our creation is not for nothing. It's not just for making money. It's not just for having big houses and living up the most luxurious lifestyle, because wallahi, all of this will not matter in the akhirah. How can I take qasam? Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us. Listen to this hadith. This is the last hadith I'm going to quote, inshaAllah. But if you can take this with you and implement it, it will be enough for you. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that if you take somebody who lived the most luxurious life, imagine now, think, kings, rock stars, presidents, whatever, billionaires, trillionaires, emperors, whoever lived the most luxurious life, any desire you imagine, he fulfilled it, or she fulfilled it. cars, houses, horses, whatever. Spouses, significant others, whatever. No problems, no sickness, no war, nothing. And you give them one dip. Not a second, not a minute, not an hour, not a day, not a year, not 100 years, not a million years, definitely not forever. One dip in a nar, and then you ask them, have you seen a moment of relaxation in your life? They will say, Wallahi, I have never had a moment of relaxation in my whole life. All that 70, 100, whatever years of pleasures, it will disappear from their memory because of how horrible the nar is. From one dip. And you take somebody who had the harshest life, whatever hardships you may be going through and I may be going through, and we all have our own challenges, it is nothing compared to the person mentioned in the hadith. Take the person who has the hardest life in the history of mankind. The most diseases, the most pains, the most war, the most every hardship you can imagine. And you take that person, you give them one dip in Al-Jannah. In that unimaginable, unthinkable, so beautiful we couldn't comprehend Jannah. One dip, then you ask them, have you ever had a hardship, a single hardship in your whole life? That one dip will make them forget about every hardship they had. Say, Wallahi, I've never had a hardship in my life. Imagine those who live in that Jannah forever. Imagine those that are neighbors to Anbiya. Imagine those that are neighbors to Allah. Those see their Rabb, that hear their Rabb. What should we not do? What is there that's too hard for us to do to attain that Jannah? I have more, but that was the last hadith, so I'm going to stop. But remember, this ilm is a hujjah for me and you. Whoever practices upon it, it's a najah, it's a means of salvation. Whoever doesn't, it's a hujjah on them. So we ask Allah to make us on those that practice on what we hear. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله إن الله غفور رحيم. الحمد لله الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين خاتم الأنبياء نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. يا أول الأولين يا آخر الآخرين يا ذا القوة المتين فاغفر لنا وارحمنا إنك أنت الغفور الرحيم. يا الله يا الله يا الله يا رحمن يا رحيم فاغفر لنا أنت أرحم الراحمين. ظلمنا أنفسنا ظلما كثيرا ولا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت فاغفر لنا وارحمنا إنك أنت الغفور الرحيم. اللهم نعوذ بك من عذاب القبر ونعوذ بك من عذاب الجهنم ونعوذ بك من قول أو أمل قرب إلينا من النار. اللهم نسألك الجنة اللهم نسألك الجنة اللهم نسألك الجنة وما قرب إليها من قول أو أمل. اللهم اشف مرضانا واغفر موتانا. اللهم نسألك الجنة لنا ولوالدينا ولمن له حقا علينا. وأخي أقيموا الصلاة.